The National Water Commission said water is life, and so without water we cannot function, so we need water.
Giving us water 4 hours out of the day, that's 4 hours of life.
Our population has increased at a rapid rate, and because of that it has outpaced the growth of the provisions that were made for water supply.
Mandeville, the parish capital of Manchester, established 1816. It's a major business center and the only parish capital in Jamaica not located on the coast or on a major river. Here in Mandeville, the primary water source is rainfall, but with a continuously growing population, this culture has changed. Mandeville now depends heavily on piped water supplied by the National Water Commission from wells at Porus and Pepper in St. Elizabeth. Though some improvement has been seen in the frequency, pressure, and expansion to some areas in recent times, a great portion of the community still cries low water pressure, irregular supply, and in some instances, no water at all.
We don't have no well at Mandeville. There's no well, but rainfall every day. So what we need to do?
I'm Evadne Brown, and this is The Cry for Water. I'm in Mandeville trying to find out why there's a shortage of piped water from the National Water Commission, NWC. I'll also be looking at how the community is affected and what's being done to solve the problem. Mandeville is not just the parish capital. It's the location of universities, schools, hospitals, and many other businesses. But for many years, water shortage from NWC has been delaying growth and hampering the sustenance of the community.
We have a serious problem here because most of the times we don't have any water stored here. We have 5 drums on top of the building there. Whenever times they're empty, we have to buy water all the time.
Fitzroy Russell is the assistant manager at Super Plus Food Store, one of the leading food store chains in Jamaica. He explains the challenges the store experiences due to a lack of piped water from NWC.
Where do you get your water from?
Well, we have to buy it from a private truck.
Okay.
I know that is very expensive, like $14,000 per load. And you know, a meat room need water. You know, the bathroom need water. Every second somebody goes to the bathroom. You understand? So we have to sterilize our instrument in the meat room. We have to make certain everything is clean. So we have to have water in the store.
He didn't reveal the name of the store's water supply, but I further asked if he knew where his water is sourced.
I don't know if they go to Porus or where they go.
So you have no idea where your water comes from?
No, we don't have any idea. But we just know that we call and get a truckload of water.
The Manchester Parish Council has jurisdiction to supply water to residents affected by the water shortage. But the water shortage in Mandeville, I'm understanding, means big business for water truck supply such as Myris Trucking, owned by Mary Simpson. I contacted him by phone in hope of getting answers about where he harvests water, among other safety concerns. However, he refused to be interviewed as, according to him, he fears my research would lead to him being investigated by tax authorities. In continuing my investigation, I showed up at Spa Utopia, a prominent day spa located in Mandeville. It's owned and operated by Donna Foster, who's been operating in the town for over 18 years. And for over 15 years, water has been her major concern.
What exactly do you do here?
We do hair, skin and nails. So we do manicure, pedicure, facial, body massage, hairstyling and relaxers.
And you do need consistent flow of water in order to...
Yes, we do.
All right. How have you been affected by the water shortage?
It affects us very hard because we have to be storing water in drums, and sometimes it is not wise to store water in drums, but we can't do any better because we have to operate. Water is the main thing that we have to use in our business.
It's a common practice to store water in buckets, drums, and in other vessels to help lessen the water problem. However, Public Health Inspector with responsibility for water control at the Southern Regional Health Authority, Merton Lindsay, revealed a serious problem that could threaten the health of the population.
It can result in mosquito breeding, can result in persons using unsafe water, obtaining water from different sources that may consider unsafe. And unsafe water, it might be detrimental to their health because they might come down with waterborne infections.
Waterborne infections, according to Mr. Lindsay, include cholera, dysentery, and typhoid.
Manchester is one of those parishes when we have incidents of dengue outbreak. Mandeville is the part of Manchester that is probably most affected.
Next, I stopped at City Centre Plaza, a newly built plaza on Manchester Road. China Delight restaurant is popular here, but it needs water consistently for preparing meals, washing hands, and other sanitation purposes. But at this restaurant, water is also a major problem. Manager at China Delight restaurant, Hopton Williams, explains.
Based on running water from NWC by 12 o'clock each day, if there is any, there is no water at all. We have 2 tanks that keeps us going through the day, so we have to hope that water comes back the next morning to fill up the tanks. Imagine you go somewhere to eat and before you eat you want to wash your hands and you hear that there is no water for you to wash your hands. The bathroom is locked off. That's not good for business. Giving us water 4 hours out of the day, that's 4 hours of life.
Sean Lewis doesn't own a business in Mandeville. However, he is a tradesman who specializes in construction work. He too needs water.
It has been really difficult in Mandeville. Sometimes you go to work and you need the water to aid you in your work, and when you go to the site there is no water in well-populated communities, and it set back the work. Sometimes there is no water for the day, sometimes it goes and comes.
And how does this affect you in terms of your income?
Sometimes if there is no water, there is no work to be done, and at the end of the week, probably you don't do any work, so you don't look for anything. It sets you back with your work and getting some money to support your family.
When there's no water, there's no life. So I visited the National Water Commission's office in Mandeville in hope of finding some answers as to when Mandeville would see real improvement in the water system. However, I was told no one was available to speak on the company's behalf. I later reached Communication Manager Charles Buchanan by phone. However, he said he couldn't comment as he was on vacation leave. Other attempts were made to reach Dr. Kingsley Thomas, NWC's president, and Mark Blair, Global Water and Energy Specialist at NWC. They too were unavailable. I later went to see Brenda Ramsey, mayor of the parish, with whom I had previously made an appointment. However, the secretary said the mayor was unavailable, and I was referred to Ryan Wallace, physical planner relating to community development and urban planning at the council. I asked him if he knew of any plans being implemented for a better water system.
In conjunction with the parish council, all parts had a proposal, Newport Napatri area, to dig a well, which will be probably about 2,000 feet. Now the thing is that when they approached NWC, they said that they were not able to manage the electricity bill for it. So if they dig it, Alpart would have to manage it. It's not the jurisdiction of the bauxite company, it's the jurisdiction of NWC. And if NWC cannot deal with it, then the project is just a dead situation.
But is this the real reason there's still a water shortage in Mandeville? If yes, how will future rise in electricity costs affect water supply? I interviewed branch manager for Jamaica Public Service Company Limited, JPS, Ava Tomlin, who said she didn't want to be aired but asked only to be quoted or referred to. She said the cost of electricity is dependent on the cost for oil and the strength of the Jamaican dollar. She also said that though the JPS is not going to reduce the cost for electricity for the NWC to supply water, it is looking for an island-wide cost reduction in the future. At present, the water situation in Mandeville is looking grim. But is there any hope? Councillor from Mandeville, Mr. Jones Oliphant, explains.
The water crisis is not new. What has been new is that our population has increased at a rapid rate, and because of that it has outpaced the growth of the provisions that were made for water supply. When we go back in history, it was mandated that each householder should have a catchment tank. And then we had the Greater Mandeville water supply, which was a great shot in the arm, and it was hoped that this Greater Mandeville supply would have supplied each householder with potable water, so that what would have happened is there wouldn't be any need for the tanks and so forth. As a matter of fact, the residents who build their personal tank to harness their water is better off today, even if they are connected to the NWC system.
The shortage of piped water in Mandeville has always been a controversial issue both socially and politically. Apart from the direct effects, future health issues are now a huge concern. Will Mandeville's population continue to grow despite this major water crisis? The major question, however, still remains: what are the authorities doing to solve this problem? This has been The Cry for Water. I'm Evadne Brown. Thanks for listening.